Hey guys, so here's me, and I am playing Bee Simulator. So yeah.
For $8.99 each. Enjoy a choice of a large two-topping pizza, 10-piece jumbo shrimp with fries, a pound of rib tips with fries, or a pound of Happy Wings. Just $8.99 each when you pick two. Call Order Be Happy or order online at happypizza.com.
Now, Gardner White rolls back the price of every name brand mattress. Save hundreds of dollars on a perfect sleeper queen set.
You go do my work. Go do my work. Go. Okay, you know what? You're just gonna find
MB
it.
Financial is getting out of the mortgage business, and that means about 500 people will lose their jobs. That includes more than 400 brokers in the Ann Arbor office, dozens more in Oakland and Wayne counties. The first layoffs are set to begin in early July. The company says the decision to drop the mortgage business is based on heavy competition, low profits, and input from shareholders. Alexander in the week on Wall Street, the Dow giving up more than 11 points, the S&P gaining almost 3, and the Nasdaq adding just 1 point.
What are my ideas?
Hundreds of stunning works of art now on display in Royal Oak, and they're all made of glass. Fox 2's Josh Landon is inside the gallery with a preview of the eye-catching exhibition.
We're inside of Habitat Galleries in Royal Oak for Glasstopia. It's a great exhibition that kicks off Saturday and continues into June. It's open to the public. A great way to learn about glass art.
I already turned into this bear, I
Tell us,
think.
what can people expect? I mean, this is the largest of its kind in the world.
In the world, this is 100 artists, 35 different countries, all looking at glass.
Hi, I'm Black Bear.
Teacher made us all sit
You look like a person. Okay, whatever.
50 artists are going to be here for the opening, which is on the 28th tomorrow. It's really an incredible event for not only here glass, but the world of studio glass.
Absolutely. So, number one, it's a great way for the general public to learn more about glass art. With that aside, there's also an opportunity for the artists to get something great out of this exhibition. What do they get for having the best pieces of art?
Well, this is a very unique exhibition. So each artist is required to send in 2 to 3 objects, and we have a panel of jurors that come in, and they pick out 25 specific pieces that get an actual museum exhibition at the Fort Wayne Museum in Indiana this summer.
How do they look at it in the judging process? Just curious.
Well, you know, I mean, there's so many different ways that these artists have been working.
You guys want to see a Hawaiian mix?
Something different, something that's interesting, something they haven't seen before.
No.
They're looking for something new and fresh, and so a lot of artists have been working with me have worked in this exhibition, and some of them are brand new. They've never even been on museum before, and so there's this wonderful variety of work, but it's a definite must-see.
I went to Argentina last year, and I learned what I like about art. I mean, that's the beauty in coming to these exhibitions. When you take a look at art, you learn more about yourself and what you love.
You do. Wherever you go, you take a piece of that place with you. And I imagine when you're in Argentina, you picked a piece of the culture and you brought it with you. Here's a time where you're almost traveling around the world with this show, because you're visiting Bulgaria, you're visiting the Czech Republic, you're visiting the Murano, the canals in Murano, and you're looking at the Venetian work. So this is a really an incredible experience, and I hope you can make it, Josh.
I'll do my very best. I will make it eventually. Corey, thank you so much. You got it. And again, Glasstopia kicks off tomorrow, and it continues until June. It's open to the public. Come and learn more about glass art. This place is very impressive. You can see how it's the largest of its kind in the world. In Royal Oak, Josh Landon, Fox 2 News.
I'm Root Brown. Take a look at what's coming up on Fox News at 5:30. A big week for Ford as they do that massive scale back on car manufacturing. We hit the showroom floor to see why their trucks and SUVs are flying off the floor and what one communications expert says.
What's up here?
Apple orchard. The first tree was planted just hours ago. When you can pick up coming up.
I don't have 6
And as we head into the break, a check on the evening commute. This is the area by 696 west into winter. It's busy along that stretch on this Friday, but come 9 o'clock, the westbound lanes will be closed for construction for a while.
Oh
Fox 2
gosh.
News at 5:30. We'll be back when I join Sherry Marcos.
You've heard the hype, heard the noise, the empty promises, empty suits. So ask yourself, who in this town asks the questions you'd ask? Who sees what you see? Who, like you, knows there's really only one story that matters? The truth.
Why was Papa Romano's voted the best deep dish pizza in Michigan 2 years in a row? Because we use only fresh ingredients and don't make fresh shit. Now, for a limited time only, receive a large one-topping pizza and an order of Bambino bread for $12.99.
How about turn it down?
Turn what down? Kiss my butt. Go in your bedroom.
Surrounds you with peace of
Go
mind.
grandma's bed.
2018 Nissan Rogue Sport. Featuring rear cross-traffic alert.
Hi guys, so today I am going
Okay,
to
who's
be,
got on that coaster?
It's not for you. Now standard on the Nissan Rogue family.
today I am going,
Yo, 179 from our Nissan Rogue.
how about stop,
Stop what? What are you talking about?
I'm doing something,
Is in your driveway.
I can't hold my damn cookies? Are you crazy?
I want one,
No way.
yeah babe, do you have any peanut butter ones?
Hey, you want one?
Tempur-Pedic closeout to 4 samples. You can trade up to Tempur-Pedic for just $8.99. Get an iComfort Queen with a free TV for just $10.99 or $19 a month. This Beauty Rest Hybrid Queen set with a free TV is just $12.99 with no tax or $22 a month. We will not be on your shoulder any mattress.
What is this for?
Jesus Christ. How you open these damn things?
No, stop. I'm doing a video.
I am doing
Here, give one to me.
So what's next? We should probably get the groceries.
here,
You're all set.
Thank you. Save big through Sunday during the 4-day sale. Right now, bring home whole pineapples for only 99 cents each.
I'm doing
Why was Papa
Apple
Romano's voted the best
court.
deep dish pizza in Michigan 2 years in a row? Because we use only fresh ingredients and don't make fresh daily. Now, for a limited time only, receive a large one-topping pizza and an order of Bambino bread for $12.99. Now, taste the difference.
H-A-W. A-N-I-N.
Ford Motor Company discontinuing 4
Oh,
of its well-known vehicles, and tonight the reason for the scale back is becoming more clear.
The automaker is concentrating on their strong suit instead. A local communications expert says it's a long-term message Ford needs to stick to. Most people who come in here, are they looking for cars or looking for trucks and SUVs?
Usually trucks and SUVs or crossovers.
That's the word here at Blackwell Ford in Plymouth. It's also the key that drove Ford's decision to scale back drastically on car production. Say goodbye to the Ford Fusion, Fiesta, Focus, and Taurus. The only car that remains the iconic Mustang.
When the automaker says we're not going to make cars anymore, there's a portion of the audience says, how can a car company not make cars?
Matt Friedman
Okay.
of Tanner Friedman Strategic Communications
I'm
makes a living
really
helping
bad
others
at
get
this.
their messaging right.
Didn't I
Ford
install
essentially
on that?
announced they're going to stop making cars, but Friedman says it comes down to semantics.
What I call my car, the automaker calls a crossover. That's
Don't get
not a
any
word
crumbs.
I would ever
Well,
use in
Nick.
conversation. I would never say, hey,
Nick.
Will, I'll be right over. I just have to get in my crossover and I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Restructuring after bankruptcy, GM CEO Mary Barra made a decision to cut back on car production as well, scaling back on brands. 2009, 2010, General Motors found themselves in a similar situation of streamlining, right?
The GM made a lot of changes in crisis, and the audience knew that they were in crisis. What Ford is trying to do is prevent a crisis, and they don't like to talk much about that, nor would any company, but they're trying to do that to secure their future, and it's part of that plan. That's a little harder for audiences to see.
And with their efforts in the SUV, crossover, and truck market, dealers know the future is still bright, especially because of what they offer. Give me the 2 big reasons people are saying, I don't need the car, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Basically, those are the 2 big reasons. The mileage is there with the Escape, and then we have the room. So that's the main reason we're selling them.
You know, semantics sharing a huge part of this. When we say a car company, that's how we define it. That's how we've always known it. But car companies, the mobility industry, so to speak, has really evolved. And so we have different kinds of automobiles, and they're not all called cars. So the car may be scaled back, but my goodness, the Ford F-150 is still the top-selling truck in the
Oh, sure. Well, as long as they continue to improve the gas mileage, because as we know, this week gas prices they're much higher than they were last week. So people are buying the SUVs and the large vehicles, not necessarily thinking about the gas mileage.
The other thing is that Ford is thinking about that. And so some of the newer SUVs that they're making actually are very fuel efficient compared to what they used to be in the past. So everyone's trying to get one step ahead to where we're going to be.
All right. Big change.
Indeed.
That's right. So take a look. You recognize this guy? Police say he exposed his genitals to a 67-year-old woman who was walking on West McNichols in Detroit. Also asked the woman to perform a sex act. When the victim ran into a nearby store, the man followed her and then ran north on Schaefer. If you think you know the man in these photos, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. You will remain anonymous.
What's anonymous?
The president of Bishop Foley High School has been
Poor
removed.
people don't
A
know
letter
you?
was sent to parents saying Madison Heights police are investigating a student complaint against Father Jerry LaBeouf. Police will only describe the alleged behavior as inappropriate. LaBeouf also serves as pastor of Guardian Angels Catholic Church in Clawson. He's restricted from public ministry during this investigation. Right now he's on administrative leave from Bishop Foley High School.
Today is Arbor Day. Perfect day to bring you this story about a nonprofit group that thinks Detroit would be a perfect spot to grow an orchard. How do you like them apples? Welcome to Core Orchards Detroit. It may not look like much now, but by the year 2020, things will look a lot different around here. Picture 300 Honeycrisp apple trees growing along the city's landscape.
We're planting Core Orchards because we have a mission of revitalization and support for the communities that we serve.
The nonprofit group Wolverine Human Services, based in Grosse Pointe Park, has invested $150,000 to plant the trees on Lenox Street near Dickerson and Mack on the city's east side. The goal is to sow an agricultural destination and offer fresh, affordable produce to the community.
Everyone goes to apple orchards in Michigan, whether you're a grandparent, whether you're a college kid, whether you're a grandkid, you're driving to experience that apple culture that we all know.
The orchard is a community effort. 100 employees from Paragon Properties and Bingham Farms took part in planting trees on Friday. The project has been 2 years in the making.
Oh my God, first group to go through the 2016 urban ag ordinance
There's this
by Detroit, so we've had a little bit of process, but it's been well worth it.
This will be Detroit's first
He said his dad has a rifle and he's not afraid to use
to have this in their backyard.
Excited to have an apple soon?
Said that to me. He said he would shoot me.
Apple grown in Detroit.
Did you tell somebody?
We got
Told on him.
orchards, and we've got cider we've got
The
donuts,
teacher.
and we thought, why not in Detroit? Why not have another reason to come and experience Detroit in a new way?
This is great, man. When you get people investing in their neighborhood,
He got expelled, I think. Or suspended.
spending money and energy here in my area. I love it.
Isn't that great? The first apple pick is expected in the fall of 2020. The trees should grow up to 5,000 pounds of apples every year.
I'm meteorologist Lori Penson. We have warmer than average day for us today, but we do have some cooler temperatures on the way as a cold front goes through, as well as a bit of rain. I'll let you know how that will impact your weekend. That's coming up.
A Rochester Hills woman feels weak, a little bit tired, so she lays down. What happened next turned into a life or death situation.
My lips started turning blue, and so over the phone they explained how to do CPR to him, and they ended up shocking me with paddles.
How she survived cardiac arrest, how doctors are making sure it doesn't happen again, and what we can learn from her case. It's all coming up in Health Works.
You've read the reports, the analytics, every mock draft. But when the clock is ticking and your guy's still on the board, will the Lions make your pick? you take them to the top. The NFL Draft is here. Watch it on your home for Lions football, Fox 2 Detroit.
Jessica's all-new Marriage Secrets. Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Fox 2.
Bye guys, see you next time.
High efficiency furnace and get your AC free. 0% financing available. Call
What?
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1.
Bye.